Finding yourself solo again after many years of being with somebody can be quite challenging. When I found myself alone after many years of being with a partner, most of my life, I found the weekends the hardest. For some reason, the 2 days of the weekend had been always set aside for spending time with my partner, and we would go for walks, visit cafes, maybe drive to a nearby winery in another town for lunch. We would sometimes visit friends, have friends just over for the weekend, and the weekend time was the shared time. So finding myself alone after the first few weeks, I found the weekends to be the hardest to fill. Friends were really helpful, and I did things with them, and I made a list of things I could do for the weekend, but I looked forward to the next weekend with dread, not with happiness, and it just seemed like an endless supply of weekends that were empty and with a void. So it wasn't actually the weekends that were the problem, it was the lack of structure. When we have structure in our life, when we have things that organise our lives, it gives us a sense of knowing where we're going, and it enables us to be more creative in the time that we have. So sometimes we find ourselves in retirement also alone, and it could be because our children have gone, we've got the empty nest syndrome, or we may have lost a partner and our structure has gone. And this leaves us feeling quite without a compass. When we have a structure in our life, we know more or less what we're going to be doing, even if it is within a variety of things, and within that it gives us some freedom to create. But we need to watch out it doesn't become boring. We don't want to be doing the same things on the same days every week or every fortnight. So we need to create novelty into our lives, newness, something novel. And it turns out this novelty is the zing that we need in our life. It's like the master key switch, and it helps us to release energy, it engages the brain, and it even makes us more lucky. Who knew? So in a book called The Luck Factor by Richard Wiseman, I came across this quite a few years ago, but its truths still ring in my mind. And he talks about many things that are repeated now through various people and researchers. And they say that doing these things of following novelty can increase our luck, and it makes our brains more energized, and it can even help us to live longer. So novelty is extremely beneficial. So we have to break our life of living on autopilot. So the things that we normally do on various days or various times, the responses that we have, the ways that we dress, the places that we go, we need to shake that up. And this will wake up our brain. It will produce more energy through the mitochondria that are woken up, and it will give us a different view of the world. In other words, it's like being mindful, not in a meditative way, but in a mindfulness of noticing the small details of life, finding novelty in the moment, and just engaging more with life. So I've found 5 ways that we can add novelty to our life, which are quite easy. Number 1 is to go down a different street. So maybe you're walking, maybe you're driving, but to go to a street adjacent to where you're planning to go anyway, but maybe a street that you haven't been on before. That is the goal. To go somewhere new, look at the houses, look at the outdoor landscaping. Even if you don't go very far, turn around, go back again, but you will have done something different. And this is novelty, and it engages our minds. Number 2 is to order something new when you go to a cafe or a restaurant. So you may say to the waitress or another customer, can you tell me what you have found is something that you really enjoy from here? Or you may say to the barista, what I normally have such and such, can you suggest something to spice it up a little bit? What can I do to make it taste different or add something new to it? So a very easy fix, you can just try something new in the environment where you normally go. You could of course go to a different cafe as well. Number 3, change what you hear in your home environment. Change the things that you normally listen to. For example, you might like to try some French accordion music and listen to that for a few minutes. It's worth a try. You might want to listen to some smooth jazz or some classical guitar, something that appeals. It's worth just giving these things a try. The 4th thing you can do is to look around within your own environment and to find something new. So there is a test or little game that you can play to find 5 things that are new within your environment that you haven't really noticed or thought about before. And the last one is to touch textures, whether the texture is in your home or outside when you go for a walk. Maybe you can touch the texture of trees or bark on shrubs or flowers. You can touch the texture of grass, of leaves that are fairy leaves, anything that is different, even within your home environment. Touch the textures and feel it. Don't just be mindless of what is around you. So by adding novelty into our weekend and to our weekdays, it can help us to feel more fulfilled. It will give us better health. It gives us a change of structure, and it gives us more choices. So I'd love to know what resonates with you and what you have found that works for you when you are single and solo.